About 2 weeks ago I proved that pentominos make Tetris worse, so this means that Tetris with infinite minos should theoretically be the worst game in the universe, finally breaking the quantum barrier between objectivity and subjectivity. Which makes it more scary that many people said, what about hexominos, bringing us closer to the breaking point? We might as well go all the way, right? What about Tetris with any degree of polyominos? We could even call it Pentis. Alright, remember how Pentomino Tetris, or Pentis, required a bunch of gameplay changes to become playable? Now imagine that, but for hexominos, heptominos, and basically any size of polyomino. Now that said, I dislike pentominos for being almost good, but not quite there. This is not a problem here though, because these larger polyominos were never close to being good. Either way, I think this is possible and I have a couple ideas. Now naturally, the changes I'm gonna suggest here will be extreme and at times upsetting. Viewer discretion is advised. So I'm gonna be splitting this video into two parts. Extreme changes and mild changes. Are you ready? I'm gonna start with my most controversial idea for this. The idea is, instead of a piece falling from the top, perhaps you would simply need to place the piece somewhere on the board within a limited time. This makes a lot more sense when you Google heptominos and other polyominos and see this. And I thought this was bad. I suppose you could visualize this as a 3D Tetris game being played on a 2D board that's on the ground. Similar to a popular puzzle game that Tetris was actually inspired by but pushed a little further. Now I know this would be a big change, but with the right animations and effects I think it would tickle the same part of your brain as regular Tetris. So this could be worth trying. But we're not done. Far from it. The next extreme change is for the rules of clearing lines. One idea for this comes from ANY, who mentioned perhaps clearing the tiles based on colors. This was apparently done in Tetris 2, where you would get these weird pieces and match the colors on them. But that's just one interpretation. A similar idea comes from Gamemaker, who suggested having other rules such as forming a diagonal line or a ring to clear lines instead. That's also a neat idea, but it could be a little unintuitive during play. I think it's best to combine these two though, where you need to make a pattern of a solid color to clear some tiles from the board, such as a 2x4 area or a complete line of colors. Now of course it would probably be a good idea to limit the color scheme for the pieces, like having 6 to 7 colors instead of a unique color for each piece. The third extreme idea I got is actually inspired by that Tetris 2 game I mentioned. In that game some pieces have these loose bits that fall off after being placed. Perhaps we could make it so that these larger polyominos are made up of smaller pieces that would fall off just like in Tetris 2. This would open up many different possibilities. But that's it for the extreme ideas. You are safe now. Well then, onto the mild changes. The first mild change here comes from another one inspired by Gamemaker. The other suggestion they had was to limit the piece selection so that the player would only get pieces that fit together well. Good idea, and this could be even more effective with these larger shapes. The way I would implement this would be to separate the piece set into smaller categories of pieces that would fit together. Remember the bag system in Tetris? It was basically a pre-generated list of pieces that would be given to the player. This was mainly to prevent having too few or too many of a single piece. But that system's already in the bag. So for this, we could create multiple bags like this and give them to the player. To make this simpler, this is how the system would look when applied to tetrominos. But this is just an example, because in practice you wouldn't need it for pieces like these. For the next few mild changes, remember the new mechanics I mentioned for Pentis? Those were the increased board size, the double hold mechanic, the flip move, and the line clears after you're leveled up. For something like this, we might want to take the board size and the hold mechanic and make them more dynamic, meaning that they could be scaled up depending on the size of the polyominos. Additionally, Pentis lets you flip each piece only once, perhaps this limit could be removed. Lastly, while there are only 7 tetrominos and 18 pentominos, there are 60 hexominos, 196 heptominos, and over 700 hectominos. The number clearly grows quickly, so it might be a good idea to generate these automatically. The method I thought of, which seems to be pretty common, is to use the last set of polyominos to generate the next one, by adding an extra square to them. You would apply this to create every possible polyomino, and afterwards you would need to delete the duplicates, including rotation. The only downside here is you would need to set the center of rotation automatically, along with the separation of the compatible pieces into different bags. The solutions for these problems are left to the viewer as exercise. Now, I am currently working on an arguably cooler project, so I won't be making this as an actual game. But I'm sure someone is crazy enough to do it, so my goal was to give you all some ideas, because I think it could be pulled off. But anyway, I hope you found some of this interesting, and if you haven't, make sure to go play Pentis and to
subscribe.